Well, welcome to another video. I'm your personal funky sim pilot. My name is Arkady Gidzenko. And let's go around, man. Let's turn around. Let's not go around, let's turn around. And, let's turn around from Algiers back to Barcelona, where we just came from. So, I'm thinking if you just saw the previous video, then this will not need a whole lot of explaining. We just landed here actually at Algiers airport, and well, we're getting the plane ready for the turnaround. She's actually in cold and dark state. I was just like, what do you call it, quite spontaneous, so just set it all up and that's it. But I guess I could, you know, there's some state changes, some states that you can load the aircraft in, but let's just get this going. So batteries on, and the IRS aligning. Let's get some lights here on the flight deck and turn on the external power and the panel brightness, and turn off the flashlight. So departure 0607 knots, 1007. This should not be new. It's basically still the same weather. Let's set up the FMC. Gate number 4, I believe this was. Not in database. They call it Whiskey Niner. A totally different name. Whiskey and Niner and gate. And that is actually recognized, so we can put that in. Got a little bit of lights going in here. Whoops. And the lights down here as well. Let's see if we can be real quick. That will be interesting. Request boarding. Okay, it says boarding requested immediately. Mail required NAV performance RMP. Sure, man. Route. Flight plan request. That's ours. That's payload. That's fuel. Select route.
Do you want to board crew?
Please.
Pilot's boarding starting.
Is this thing on? So load it up.
Crew boarding starting.
So are we really on ground power? Well, yeah, nothing changed. Activate, execute. So I'm just going to run through this real quick. Cost index 33, cruising 340, the wind 296,020, and then fuel 5.9 or 6.0, and 2.6 for the final reserves. Departing runway 05, the SADAF 1 Charlie. So SADAF 1 Charlie out of 05.
Passengers boarding starting.
SADAF 1 Charlie. Select, execute. Arrival. 06 left, the MARTA 3 Yankee. So 06 left, ILS Zulu, 06 left, and the MARTA 3 Yankee.
Good evening.
Execute, that's in, leg page. There comes MARTA, that's our arrival, and then after VLA, we'll have Aztec, and there's a little discontinuity that we'll check later as usual. So unit ref, route per unit, 0 fuel weight. So plant fuel 5.9 off. The reserve fuel was 2 point something, 2.6.
Boarding pass, please.
Oops, that's the wrong one. 2.6 should be in the reserves. The cruising was 340, and then the cost index was 330, I believe, or 33, excuse me.
Good evening.
And then the cruising wind was 2906 and 020. Transition altitude 4,930. We've seen that before. So let's just double check these numbers. 5.9, I believe that. Reserves 2.6, I believe that. Cost index 33. Cruising 340. Wind 2906 at 20. So what we're looking at, 340, 33 for the cost index, 2906 and 20. Okay, so we got all those numbers in the transition altitude is correct as well. Execute. And one limit. This will take us to the calculations page, or the performance tool rather. So departing runway 05. Let's get the weather in. Calculate. Take off. Select the temperature 53.
Hello.
53. This gives us 87.5. Well, I'll take it. Take off flaps 1. We'll trim 4.9, so it's almost 5. The runway length remaining 114, and we should get 126, 126, 131. One two five, 126, 131. I'm gonna go with the speed here in the CDO. And that should be it, really. So we got 5.9 tons of fuel on board. Let's turn on the passenger seatbelt sign. Oops, these are the landing lights. I meant to turn on the fuel pumps. Aircraft still looking to find its position. We're pretty much rushing through this like a speed run. an interesting angle. There, the aircraft just found its position. Let's turn on the yaw damper as well. And maybe why not start the APU? Let's do it. So what else do we have? Landing altitude was 100. We saw that while landing here. We'll be cruising at flight level 340. APU starting. Maybe some other time it would be nice to actually plan ahead and do an actual real-time turnaround. I would like that one time. I know there's some things involved, so I have to look up what exactly that should be, or at least the basic outlines, and then go for the details later. But it sounds like fun. So let's set the altimeter. We go to the hectopascal and 1007. And this should be synced with the first officer's primary flight display as well. Get that one a little bit darker as well, actually. Alright, so APU should be available now. Let's turn on the APU generator, APU bleed. And we'll disconnect the ground power unit. We got 87 passengers on board now. So I'll quickly be stepping off into the galley to get a new drink. And I will be back, and then we'll start the taxi and we take off. Alright, so we're back, fully loaded, 99 out of 110 passengers have boarded. Let's set up the remote control panel, so we can set flight level 340 here. Flight directors, they can both go on. Auto thrust, we'll set the speed for 250. Let's turn on LNAV and VNAV. Turn on traffic on the navigational display. Boarding completed. So, let's get ready for taxiing. So, prepare for pushback and departure. We will need to close some things. Close left entry aft. So what if I remove shock? Will it then auto close? Oops, set the parking brakes. Always forget that. very irresponsible.
Departure check completed, bypass pin inserted.
Alright, so runway 05 is a very simple airport. And that will be this one right here. So we'll taxi out, it will lead straight to the runway. That's a very, very cool airport. So we push back, nose to the right, tail to the left. That will take us onto Juliet 13. And we'll follow that and we want to be here. Yeah, it doesn't matter either. We take a right turn here and a left turn, or we go straight and then do a left turn, right turn and then left. That will take us to runway 05. It will be very short, so push back, nose to the right. Nose right, tail left.
Release parking brakes.
Yes, sir, immediately. Parking brakes released.
All engines clear, start at will.
Alright, we can start our engines. Engine number 2. Let's verify our takeoff speeds. Not asking us yet. And let's just leave the page on for now. I don't think we can. But not sure. Maybe we'll see. Otherwise it will ask us in a couple of seconds. So engine 2 is starting up. Now engine number 1. Forgot to turn on the anti-collision lights and the logo lights. A really short little plane, very cute.
Set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
So I think we'll leave the lights on until we have a visual eye contact with the, I think it's a guy. Actually I didn't see. But with the person in any case, with the sexy dragon. So it looks like it's not asking us to check our V-speeds, so it figured we did.
Unlocking gear.
Copy that. So we can now set brakes, auto brake to RTL. Flap 1. Oh, there it comes, verify takeoff speeds. Okay. And 1 limit takeoff.
Tow track disconnected, bypass pin removed.
Thank you, sir.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Copy that. Okay, so the engines are running. Turn off the APU. And the APU bleed. Then turn on the packs for the short taxi. And then see where's the guy. Yes, I see you. Cool, okay. dome lights, we'll turn those off. LNAV VNAV, auto thrust armed, arm LNAV VNAV in white, 1007. And we got flap green light, it's all at 1, and the flap lever probably is at 1 too. Auto brakes to RTL. Let's turn on the runway turn-off lights and the taxi lights, and let's get ourselves flying back to Barcelona. Parking brake released. So let's take Alpha 1. So what is the Airsoft simple traffic tool is giving us Turkish Airlines here. I do not recognize this runway. U-Link, I think. I'm thinking maybe we should be on, let's just switch over to this one. Well, that's interesting. That is actually not on here. So we were, in that sense, we were actually good. So that's the first to the left, and that will just lead us straight onto the runway. Cabin crew, get jiggy with it. We're going to take off. Let's turn on the TCAS. So let's start the timer. And while we're rolling, let's turn on the strobes. Then I think we're officially ready. I did not turn off the packs though, but it's okay. We'll take off with the packs on.
Airspeed
gear up. That looks interesting. Totally forgot to look at the flight plan before takeoff. Let's take a left turn. And before we turn on the autopilot, let me quickly check here. Let's go direct to SADAF. So autopilot on. CMD. It's not totally happy now. PNAV is on now as well. Okay, that's what was wrong. All right. Lock the gear. Flaps up. Auto brake to neutral. Runway turn off lights, taxi lights to off. And the lights is off for the flaps. So I guess we're on our way. So yeah, totally forgot to actually have a look at our departure route. So let's quickly do that now. Because there was this funny circle that we do not really see here, or we do. I'm not really sure what this is. SADAF 1 Charlie, turn left, intercept ALR, radio to SADAF, then okay. Well, we're just doing a direct to. So let's go to standard pressure. CMD N1 LNAV VNAV speed. SADAF ITA Okiti Godox EPAMA Resolve 340, and then MARTA Ebrox RES and BL 561 VLA ZOR. And then there's the route discontinuity. So our runway will be runway 06 left. So while we're actually still climbing, let's just go ahead and have a look. So Barcelona approach charts on runway 06 left. ILS Zulu runway 06 left. So our departure, our arrival should be to the Villafranca VLR, VLA. So we'll be coming Ebrox or MARTA Ebrox. What is this? Reuse. And then a right turn to VLA. And then there's probably the airport. 06 left. So I'm thinking this one. So that looks quite okay, I guess. So after VLA, we should go to Aztec. So we can join those two together. 11,000 feet. Check the nose. Let's turn off the seatbelt sign and retract the landing gear. Man, it's these angles in the dark. Top of climb in about 50 or 60 miles or so. So if we go to our plan view on the navigational display, this is chance, but very nice. It's actually centering on this one. So you can see we can just hook those up. That will be very nice. So we're going to do that. So Aztec will go there. Execute. And there it's joining. So Aztec 3,000 feet or above. And VLA 6,000 or above. So let's say 6,000 feet at Aztec and not or above. So /6,000. If you're telling the aircraft now, I want you to be at 6,000, not higher. And obviously also not lower. So let's get to our runway and keep on setting everything up. Runway 06 left. Glide slope will start at let's have a runway identifier. ILS DME 110.3, QAA 064 degrees. That is our ILS. You can see it up here as well. 3,000 feet. And that is 9 miles. 064. I'm a lazy head calculator. Where are we? 06. 06 left is our runway. So that will be 244 degrees. So fixed page 244. I believe it was 9 miles. That's 9 miles. So let's put that in. And then let's add 244.15 just for a little extra buffer or whatever. So I have 2 little circles there. Okay, so that's pretty much set up. To top of descent, 166 miles. Eight minutes into the flight. So it should be about 4 more minutes until we reach, at this rate at least, till we reach our cruising altitude. So let's get the weather at Barcelona airport. $20 Zulu hours. 070, 10 knots. Visibility 10 miles. A few clouds at 800 feet. Scattered at 1500. Temperature 1313. And QNH 1009er. Alright, 1009er. We'll just dial that in here. That's sitting there looking pretty. Let's answer the ILS frequency, so let's have a look at the data here again. Localizer 110.3. .3. And the final approach course will be 064. .30.3.064. We have it here as well. So when we will descend, let's have a look at the chart. I believe 3,000 feet. So once we reach cruising altitude, we will set the descent altitude of 3,000 feet. Let's look at the go around procedure. Climb direct to Barcelona VOR and follow radio 058 to 3,000 feet, and that's direct. So Barcelona VOR 116.7. So reaching our cruising altitude now. And we're 8.6 miles from SADAF, speed 0.767. That's what it's targeting. Here's our cruising altitude. So we go to cruise speed now. Our engines look happy. We got 4.6 tons of fuel still carrying with us. Top of descent, 123 miles at 2039. So it's in about 15 minutes or so. So to continue setting up for our arrival and our descent, we'll set the descent altitude. And I'll say it again, since we're not flying online, you know, you can just do your own thing. But otherwise, you will get descent clearances and everything. So 3,000 feet. Right, so 15 minutes into the flight, we're now cruising. So after takeoff checklist, I don't think we really checked. We did follow. The engine bleeds are on, and we didn't turn off the packs. Let's have a visual nonetheless. So there you go. Landing gear up and off, flaps up, no lights. Flaps up, no lights. Landing gear up and off, and we also turned off the auto brake. That's not on this little list. So then for the descent checklist, pressurization, landing altitude. The airport elevation pretty much sea level, so we can put that to 0. We can actually check that recall. Well, we'll just wait until we get to the actual descent. Auto brake, how we can set it already. It's probably not the responsible thing to do, I don't know. But we'll set it in the 1 position. Landing gear at VRF and minimums. Did we put in the minimums? We didn't. And I think it might be interesting to do a turnaround, because I can already notice that my concentration is sort of lagging behind. And yeah, and I can understand that when you're doing things a lot and repetitively, one way you'll learn things, but it's probably also really easy to learn wrong things, and it's probably a very good idea to follow the checklist, just so that you won't forget. Because I can see myself just sort of automatically assuming things in the back of my head rather than in the front of my head, if you know what I'm saying, you know. So that's an interesting observation. Looking forward to, you know, like looking to maybe one day do a actual like 2 flights in one stream, you know. That sounds interesting, like Amsterdam and London City or London Heathrow, you know, something like that, or something from Western Europe to the United Kingdom, something like that. Is always nice. But then, yeah, you know, then you might be like automatically thinking, yeah, I already set the whatever, the radio altitude or whatever it is. Anyway, enough talking. Radio altitude 134. Yeah, let's take 134. Why not? Top of descent, 88 miles, 2039. That's still 12 minutes. So we're really jumping the gun here. Landing data VRF and minimums. The VRF speed, yeah, why not? Let's do that. It might change like one knot of speed. We'll do flap 40 degrees. It gives us a 125. Basically the same as we had ultimately, or in the end actually, with our flight to Algiers. So 125 plus 30 is plus 5 is 130. So on the legs page we should see 130 at our runway. So ETA coming up in 38 miles. Okay, so we got the VLF speeds, we have our radio altitude, we have our ILS frequency and our final approach course. We set the speed brakes of the auto brakes to 1. And looks like we don't have to vector ourselves, so that's pretty nice. So I keep wanting to look at the plane on the outside view, but you know, it's pretty dark. Top of descent is just entering the view here on the nav display. approach briefing would then have to be completed. And I think we've basically done that. So we'll fly to the VLA VOR. And we'll be there at 6,000 feet. And that will take us basically straight to one of the waypoints that's in the extended runway center line basically. And you will see that here. So we'll be coming from the north. So the VLA is not actually on here, but let's say it's here to the top left, or actually a lot further to the left actually. And it's taking us this way and then to this waypoint basically. So we'll be coming from an angle a little bit. So maybe we'll actually vector ourselves ever so slightly. We'll see how that's going to work out. And to not leave it totally to chance, we should be able to see it actually in the on the legs page. So after VLA, it's 14.5 miles until we get to Aztec. And from Aztec, it is to the glide slope, it is 3.4 miles. And that's probably plenty of time for the localizer to get for the aircraft to get onto the localizer. And then 9 miles start to go down. Well, and let's also have a look where do we go after landing. I believe that would be to the left. So we'll be landing runway 06 left. So that's nice and close. We could go left or right, either way. I don't know where we should park. I'm looking at, let's have a look at the world map as well. Terminal T2, so we could go for a left turn. We'll probably get off the runway around here, maybe Papa 2, depending on whether we touch down in the touchdown zone. Otherwise we'll be later, probably be here. So we'll see whatever feels good. In any case, we'll have to drive back anyway. So time 2032, 2039, that's 50 miles now until the top of descent. Coming up right there, shortly after Ibama. that happened. My capo in the 7th position. If you want to know the trick of the trade and you couldn't hear it. Yeah, that's always nice, giving a totally different color to your sound, you know. And isn't that what music is, you know? It's just audible colors, really. And it sounds really nice and poetic, but if you would ask me what does dark gray sound like, or what does blue, I have no clue, really. I would just play from my heart, and that would not go. Whatever comes through my head, it would not be that. There will definitely be stuff coming through the filter in your head, like you're thinking, you know, your brain, rather than only like, you know, when you do have some a lot of activity going on there. You know, not only executive like motoric skills, you know, but motor skills, but there's also some memory going on, and you know, you blend it with muscle memory, I guess, and actual active memory, and you know, some autopiloting to have an interesting parallel. But the tactile experience obviously is totally different when you compare it to a simulator, you know, like flying. But I don't know if anybody who's ever watching this is ever going to follow what is the hell I'm saying. But I'm just making a little comparison with what music is and what you can do, and whether you think about it when you're doing it, and what do you think about it, and what would come through my brain. I would have no clue what a red would sound like, you know, I have no concept of that at all. But nonetheless, since colors are frequencies basically, you know, or could be considered frequencies, I guess, right? Excuse me. Yeah, so there's an interesting parallel with frequency, with dynamics. You know, anything creating depth in its own perceptible realm or whatever, you know, it's its own realm, its own world. I don't know the right words for that. I'm not smart enough, but I can think of the feeling. All right, so we're descending now. So let's see what's going up here. We're a little bit below the profile as we start out, but this might settle down, even though the aircraft is referring to us as a retard, which is a little bit rude if you ask me. But hey, actually it's not a little bit rude, it's actually super rude. Okay, so now it's setting us to arms. Well, alright, so 32,000 feet is descending. Our arrival, let's go progress page level 2107. That's in about 27 minutes or so. Let's get a weather check. So this was issued at 2000 hours. This is 2030, 07012 knots. Few clouds 800 feet, scattered 1500 feet, 13 degrees, QNH 1009ers. And I believe we actually do have 009er already, so that's there. So the descent checklist, pressurization, landing altitude, we set that to 0, so that's set. We can check it. Next was something up. What was it? Recall. So nothing on the recall. Recall is happy. Auto brake set to 1, so now we can check it actually. So then landing data, VREF and minimums. We got the landing data, we got the VREF, we got the minimums. Let's double check the VREF real quick. Maybe we lost like, there you go, we lost like 1 knot, so 124 knots instead of 125. So that should give us 129 on the legs page at our runway position, so 129. So that has been set as well. And then approach briefing, we've done that, so that can be completed. So the approach, let's get this out of the way. Transition altitude, 6,000. There you go, 6,000 feet. So the auto brake has been set. That's pretty much it. We got our course bars with 064 degrees. We're 27,000 feet now. On our way to MARTA, where we'll be 2046 Zulu. It is 4 minutes, 20 miles to go, and we should be flight level 200 or below. So we're trying to get that. Speed 280 or below, which is basically where we're at right now. So I guess we're okay. Let's zoom out a little bit. So basically here's already our runway center line. It's just a little further to the right, but it is there. Oops. Actually here's the runway. So that little bit of music that I was just playing was basically improvising, obviously trying to sort of like repeat something I did yesterday, but yesterday it was more like country, kind of like American country style, more like bluegrass. This was more, and then I was playing around as well when I did that. I was playing around a little bit with some more dramatic, emotions, I guess. And yeah, that's basically what I started out doing now, and it felt quite nice. And I was quite happy that I happened to be recording, because maybe could be a thing that I might return to, and maybe even let further develop, And then documenting can be very nice and rewarding, So we're still a little bit low on the profile. And I prefer us to be a little bit lower than a little bit higher on profile. So MARTA coming up, 2.5 miles. So our speed is okay, should be below 280. And we should be flight level 200 or below. And we're getting there very nicely. Then up next will be Ebrox, flight level 100 or above, in 21 miles. Basically we'll cross the runway center line, or standard center line. Runway center line is actually on the runway. And that will take us to VLA. And then it will be taken down again, basically to the right. So 18,000 feet. So let's slap in the passengers. We're now 2047 and 2108. Yeah, so about 20 minutes. Let's turn on the seatbelt sign. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have started our descent to Prat Airport, Barcelona. We will be arriving there at in approximately 20 minutes. So please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. And keep your seatbelts fastened until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign has been turned off. We are expecting to arrive at about 20 minutes from now. The local temperature will be 13 degrees. There will be a little bit of clouds. We thank you very much for flying with Air Algeria. On behalf of the entire crew, have a very good day. Okay, something like that should make us sound stupid, right? So we're on profile, 17,000 feet. Let's turn off the lights. Ibrox 6.6 miles, we're at 16,900. So that's what I'm saying, you know, like it's not actually, doesn't look like it's aiming to be there, to hurry there, to be there at 100, to flight level 100. But then after that, it should be at flight level 103. So, yeah, I'm not sure why it's not just going to flight level 103, but maybe that's what it's doing. On the approach ref page, we can also see LEBL 06 left, that's our runway, 10,997 feet long, or 3.35, maybe more like, what's this, 3,000 feet, meters, 3 kilometers. That was hard to say. The ILS frequency is in there, 110.3, and the final approach course 064. Glide slope on, and then 40 degrees flap setting gives us speed 124, plus 5 is 129. 124 is up there, 129 is on the legs page at the runway position. On our way now to res, 23.5 miles, flight level 103. We're still on profile. So the airport elevation is basically sea level. That's always nice with the altimeters. But you know, when you're actually on final approach, I myself always just check here at the box where it says the radio altitude. In a way that's like the most precise, because it's based on an actual feedback, like a real-time feedback, you know, from sensors on the bottom of the fuselage. I don't know where they are actually. I would like to maybe look it up. But somewhere on the bottom of the fuselage are sensors, laser sensors, I believe, radio signal, something, pinging the ground, and that provides the actual readout of the actual altitude above the ground, which is very useful. Because you know, the air pressure can always change a little, and then all of a sudden it's giving you a wrong readout, you know. And yeah, it's just stupid, you know. Why can't every point on Earth just be 0? You know, it's just fun for the books when they say, you know, this and this city is at 5,000 feet. Well, who cares, man? You know, just make it 0. Either you move your cities, or you just change all the books. No, it's not. No, it's not the best of options, but it's only 2. You know. Right, 12,000 feet. We're about to cross the runway center line. So in a sense we should be able to, well, depending how close you are, but basically we should be looking right at the runway. It's probably around there somewhere. Don't know how close we are. We do not have a DME yet on the ILS. So speed 279er with 9 miles from rest. And then we'll take a right turn to BL 561, flight level 100 or below. And then taking us down to VLA VOR at 6,000 feet. At 1500, few clouds at 800, and where are we now? Actually at 12,000. This will be, well, this is definitely a bit low. Anyway, let's carry on. 6,000 feet will be the transition altitude. And let's turn on the landing lights. We're almost at 10,000 feet. And we'll start up the APU. And that's starting. Silhouette sign is on. Right, so turning from left to BL 561. Drag required, it says, so let's get some drag out. Yeah, we should be below, we should be 250 and now below 250. And since we're going below 10,000 feet, we should be below 250 no matter what it says on here. Unless maybe A2C clears you to go supersonic, you know. Right, so let's get the speed brake retracted now. Let's see if she can manage on her own. 8 miles to go for BL 561, and then we go to Victor Lima Alpha, the VLA VOR, and then we'll take a right turn to Aztec, and then between those two waypoints there's the deceleration point. At VLA we should be at 240 knots, but then at Aztec it wants us to be at 175 knots. So around halfway there, between those two waypoints, the aircraft should start decelerating in FMC speed. Let's have one final check at the ref speed. That's still 124 knots, so we'll just take that. So, was there a new weather update? 2030? No, it's still the current one. So speed 07012 knots, did I see that correctly? 07012 knots. 1009. So 070, we're landing at 05. Yeah, so that's okay. 12 knots is a bit windy. Speed still 240. So there's the Barcelona VOR, 33 miles, pointing to the VOR, or pointing out of it, because it's actually right there at the airport. So the outbound radial was 058, so you climb direct to the Barcelona VOR, and then you follow the outbound radial 058, and you climb to 3,000 feet. So 49 minutes into the flight now, speed 243 knots. Fuel 3.7 tons, and it looks to be nicely balanced. So standard is turning yellow, so at 6,000 feet we will switch to standard pressure. Well, we can do that right now. Here's our right turn, so we're now at VLA, so now our right turn to Aztec. 3,000 feet or above, and then to final fix 06 left, 3,000 feet. So we also turn on the runway turn-off lights and the taxi lights. No, not yet, so let's do that now. We are below the glide slope. Descending now to 3,000 feet. The glide slope is slowly coming a little bit closer. But obviously we're not quite moving towards the runway yet. There's the airport. So the cell point coming up shortly, and then we should see the speed in the box in the top left corner there, probably change to 176. So after Aztec we'll take a left turn, and then we have like 3.4 miles or something to yeah, 3.4. So aircraft now starting to decelerate. 234 is the speed that's in the box. 233. Oh, okay, so like that, it's just going down, and it's going for 176. Glide slope slowly coming a little bit closer. We're now 4.7 miles from Aztec, and then we'll take our left turn. So 06 left, that's our runway. 4,000 feet. Glide slope coming closer and closer. But we'll soon take a left turn. And then I guess we'll gain on the glide slope a little bit. It does say direct decline, so let's get the air brakes out, or the speed brakes out. So does it want more drag? Because I could see it flashing a couple of times. Let's get the speed brakes retracted. Let's arm the localizer. Localizer captured. And then we arm the approach as well. There's our runway. So wonder when the aircraft's starting to decelerate now, because we're at 195 knots. We're 10 miles from the runway. Captured on the glide slope now. So let's manage to speed ourselves. We get speed in the box. So speed down, flaps. Flaps 2. Let's deploy the gear. Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing. Let's arm the ground spoilers. To flaps 15. Final approach speed will be 130. We got about 1,000 feet until we turn off the autopilot. 6 miles out. It's maybe a little bit far out to go to our final approach speed, but let's do that. So 130 knots, and then full flaps. And we got a 12 knot headwind, so let's maybe go 132 knots. So we compensate with about 7 knots instead of with 5 knots. Can we do dual channel maybe? Will that work? I believe that just enables the aircraft to do an auto land. I'm not sure if this aircraft does auto land, I think so. So that is our runway. So 1,300 feet. So we're pretty much fully configured here. We also got the crew in their seats. Alright, so autopilot off.
1,000.
So try to maintain around 600 feet per minute descent rate. Getting a little bit high now. Try not to chase it too much, but rather just try to stay on it in really small increments. That's definitely challenging because it requires me to look a lot more at my instruments, and it feels quite safe to look out of the window actually, you know. Alright, so this is more of a dive here. Check.
Minimums.
Proceed.
$50. $30.
Idle.
$20. $10.
That's touchdown. And that's nose-wheel touchdown. Well, welcome back to Barcelona, everybody. Let's get the reversers out. Well, so was it as good for you as it was for me? Sorry about that, I just got a little bit distracted there. So we're actually crossing another runway immediately. Let's turn off the landing lights now. Right, so where will we go from here? Let's check our map. Yeah, let's just keep on going straight and then we'll take a right somewhere. Tango 8, we'll take a right turn. So that was cool. I think I'm quite happy with the landing and the ILS. It's always quite challenging to fly. But practice makes perfect eventually. So where are we? Tango 7, Tango 8. So not the next one, but the one after that. These do have totally different looking names if you ask me. Let's mind our speed. Oh, we overshot a little bit. So here we are. That was pretty cool. So welcome to Barcelona again. Hope you enjoyed your flight. Thank you very much for checking the video. And well, I'll be seeing you on the next video. See you later.